Live.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Are you doing welcome back in Chinese this week?
A welcome back. It's about as Chinese as I can say it.
All right.
Oh
Um,
Lord.
What a week.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Very upsetting for some. Very exciting for others.
I don't think there's been a luckier moment in
In that franchise's history?
well, I'm not going to go that far, but in
Okay.
Commanders history,
Okay.
there
Is
has
that the
not been.
first moment
I think so.
of obviously hopefully many more to come?
Yeah.
So, but I think that when 50 years from now, when ESPN's doing a top 10 Commanders moment, that's going to be number one because it is number one.
It might maybe
Unless there's a
eventually
huge
Super
Super Bowl run and all
or
that kind of stuff, but there's
but
no way that doesn't make the top 10.
yeah.
So,
Moments in FedEx Field history or now Northwest Stadium, whatever the hell they call it. That's got to be number one.
sure. Who's ever
So
sponsoring it now?
yeah, I think it's like Northwest Credit Union or so. I don't know, something like that. But
It's amazing. I wonder how all these banks get all this money.
what a finish!
Yeah.
So
Yeah. By
it,
both teams. I
it
mean, defensive struggle the entire game, back and forth. No one could really get ahead. I mean, you guys held the lead up until that last drive and then gave it up, and then miracle down there at the end.
felt like we dominated the game until the fourth quarter.
You did until that last drive
Yeah.
by Chicago. You did dominate until that final drive. That was the only drive you didn't dominate, and your defense didn't finish, but your offense did.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as one of them does, you get that result, right?
Yeah.
So call it luck. I mean, you can
Better
call it luck.
lucky than good.
There you go. Yep, absolutely. And what about the biggest thing all week's been the Chicago Bear guy who was taunting the crowd was actually the one who tipped the ball up into the hands of the commander's receiver. And I mean,
that didn't look real at first. I'm like, that can't be.
I thought that it was edited in. I'm like, there's no way he's talking trash. The play is going, and he still hadn't turned his back. And then at the last second, he turns around, runs over, tips the ball up, and game over.
And I know him and Terry McLaurin were jawing earlier in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep,
he definitely is.
Oh yeah,
got the short end of the stick.
Oh yeah.
So
yep, absolutely,
that's not a great look.
You can guarantee that man had a one-on-one with the head coach.
Oh yeah,
at some point. It had to have already happened. I mean, I know it's only Tuesday, but it probably happened yesterday.
He put out an apology on Twitter right after the game.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you know it's.
Oh yeah, his PR person was like, "We need to get out ahead of this because it's going to be on every single sports station, podcast, YouTube channel. Like it's going to be everywhere." So, yeah, let's go ahead and start covering up your image because your ego got the best of you.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but wild week. We'll start with our picks from last week.
Okay.
Thursday night we had Vikings at Rams. We both went Vikings.
I mean, how do you not? And then look at this team out of nowhere. They get a wide receiver back, and all of a sudden,
2 wide receivers back.
Cooper did. Kupp. Yep, Kupp did come back. So I saw a lot more Puka than I did Kupp, though.
Yeah.
So like, as far as being involved, so I don't know if that was a ploy like they use, because I mean when you have 2 really really good wide receivers, I mean you have A+ with Cooper, and I would say you have an A or A- with Puka. Puka hasn't proven himself long enough to be an A+ in my opinion, but A- receiver, you use one as a distraction, right? To pull a safety over or what have you, pull linebackers over, and then the other one is the hot target. So, and I saw a lot of the focus being on Cooper, and that's why Puka got more of the results. But Kieran Williams out there running the ball, you know what I mean? Like the offense was gelling. It was
the Rams
gelling.
Can stay healthy. They're going to go on a
run. They could. They very well could. So, but so now you got back-to-back losses for the Vikings. Both very close games. I mean, it wasn't a blowout by the Rams. The Vikings kept it close. So you can't call them, a lot of people are saying, oh, we're the Vikings pretenders. I'm like, it's not like they got blown out. It's not like they're the Cowboys.
Still a believer.
So yeah, I mean they still have. Do I think they'll win that division? No, I think Detroit runs away with it now. But I think that they are going to be. I think Chicago will just fall short, obviously, of a wild card. But I think your two wild cards. I think it'll be three teams from that division making the playoffs, with Minnesota, Green Bay, and Detroit, obviously, with winning the division.
Yeah,
So, and it's a very good chance Detroit ends up the number one seed.
could be.
I would have to think this year.
They look like it.
So yeah, they look like world beaters this year. Yep, I'd be afraid to have to play Detroit at any point in time this year.
Yeah, and the Vikings though they're not going away.
They're
I
not.
think they're
No. I think Sam Darnold gets the same contract that Baker just got this year from Tampa. I think Minnesota, even though they have the rookie, I know that they just drafted a rookie and everything. How do you not bring this guy back?
I
Right.
agree.
So especially if you make a playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, which I even think with a rookie quarterback was not their goal for this season. It almost I mean, you really can't. You unloaded half of your defense. You lost your consistent quarterback, and then you draft a rookie. So your thought is, okay, maybe if we finish 500, that'll be a huge success. No, you're legit being talked about as one of the top NFC teams right now. So I think he gets a 2 or 3 year, $100 million deal. Maybe he takes a little less. You never know.
Yeah.
So to say, hey, bring some more talent in and stuff like that. But yeah, I think Sam Darnold, this is his prove it year. He's proving it, and I think Minnesota gives him a thank you for proving it contract next year, the same way Tampa Bay did to Baker. And look at what Baker's been doing for them. So
Baker kept them in that game
with no one. Yes, you got guys out there who no one knows their names,
and they caught that
right?
Hail Mary too, but he was just out of bounds.
Yep.
So
yeah, that guy's a ball player. When you put weapons around a decent quarterback, he'll become a good quarterback. So Baker is already. I thought Baker his entire career was already a good quarterback, and put weapons around him, he could be a great quarterback.
Yeah.
So I mean, look at what he did. They put next to nothing around him in Cleveland. Me personally, that was my thought. Jarvis Landry may have been the only option he ever had.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the Rams for that couple game stint. You give him Puka, you give him Cup, you put weapons around him. It's like, oh wow, he can beat anybody with weapons. Then you throw him down to Carolina, no weapons, doesn't do well. Comes to Tampa Bay, leads him to the playoffs. It's like you gotta. It would, to me. It always goes back to the Joe Flacco effect. You know what I mean? We never really gave that guy anything. We never really signed the big running back. We never really signed any big wide receivers or made trades. Like we depended on our defense and everything.
Run the ball, play defense.
Run the ball, play defense was the mindset with Joe. And now look at what Joe did. I mean, what about the situation? We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Get to the situation, Indy. Sorry. It's amazing how one exit leads to a whole new community. Each time we start talking about a different game.
How about another precarious quarterback situation? The Jets at the Patriots. Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, I think his time may be up.
I think so.
The Jets.
I think the Jets are going to be a complete overhaul this offseason.
They've got to be.
I mean, Devontae Adams, I think they just cut at the end of the year. They're not going to re-sign Rodgers.
They better not.
I mean, it's just I don't know what their draft stock looks like, to be honest. So honestly, if I'm Robert Saleh, I'm probably happy to be out of there. I'm almost thankful that they fired me.
Yeah, and with their record now, I don't think they would have to go on an amazing
run.
Yeah.
Yes, they would have to go on an amazing run to do it. Yeah. They would have to win 8 of their 9 last games.
And they lost to the Patriots. So
yeah. Half to Drake May and the other half to Jacoby Brissett.
Right. So
unfortunately, Drake May got knocked out of that game. But yeah, I mean, you did say that the Patriots would cover that spread, though.
I did.
Yep, you made that call and they ended up winning.
Yep. Next, we had Eagles at Bengals. We both had the Eagles.
That was a good ball game.
Yeah,
that was a good football game. Two good quarterbacks going. I mean, well, everyone you don't like Hurts, but
I mean, he had 3 rushing touchdowns.
That's because every time they got down to the goal line, what else? You have the play that works in over 95% of the time. Why are you going to run anything else?
Hand the ball to Saquon Barkley so I can get an anytime touchdown.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. We both had, what was it, 6 legs? 5 legs or 6 legs?
I think it was 5.
Anytime touchdown for the
I had
1
him in
o'clock
other
games.
stuff too.
For the 1 o'clock games, and we hit 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only one that didn't hit.
I need to stop doing that.
Yeah, I know. But you would have thought, as shaky as Cincinnati's defense has been, they get down to the goal line 3 different times and they do a tush push every time. It's like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like Vegas calling into play. Like don't give it to Barkley. You're not allowed to give it to Barkley. And then sometimes I even saw when they were in the red zone, Kenneth Gainwell was in. I'm like,
maybe we start betting a Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, and maybe that's when
Saquon will get it.
So,
I'm going to bet them separate. I mean, like one of them's going to get it.
Right.
One of these is going to be a payout where I make a couple bucks.
So then we had Green Bay at Jacksonville. Again, closer game than
we called that. Though.
Yeah,
we called that. I remember saying that I think Jacksonville makes a game out of this. I don't think it's a blowout.
It was 4.5, and Jacksonville covered. I mean, late touchdown.
Yeah, but
yeah, still very close game. We both had Green Bay.
Yep.
Lions and Titans. Yeah, Lions put it on them.
Good Lord.
It was close there for a little bit. First quarter, maybe.
First quarter.
It was 14-14.
Which, where did this Tennessee offense come from? Detroit's not. They have a good defense. They have a top 15 defense.
Well, they didn't score after that.
I get that, but like, where did they come? Where did they come out of no? But that's just, to me, that's coaching them, right? Like you had a game plan to start, but you were not ready to make adjustments, and Detroit's coaching staff made the adjustments that were necessary.
Yeah,
and you had nothing to counter it.
And ultimately, the talent will prevail.
100% in the NFL. Yes, absolutely. And also, when you can score 40-plus points, it doesn't matter how good your offense thinks it is, unless you're also scoring 40-plus points, which Tennessee cannot.
Yeah,
they do not have the talent to. Then, yeah, think about on paper Detroit's offense. Good Lord. And okay, so now we're talking, how is Goff not in the MVP conversation?
This is Jared Goff.
I gotta put him in my top 5.
I mean, I don't disagree with that, but also if you look at their running game too, and what their running backs do, that doesn't help his cause.
Sure.
Probably maybe not the right way to look at that, but that I think is probably where some of that comes from.
But because Kate is a huge Detroit fan, I've watched just about every one of their games this year from start to finish. And I will say this: when it comes to crunch moments, Goff has stepped up.
Yeah,
when he needed to.
He is a top 5, top 10 quarterback.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yep.
And then we had Atlanta at Tampa Bay. We talked a little bit about this game, but Tampa Bay almost
Baker gave it his best shot. Baker gave. I mean,
he threw it out of the end zone.
He doesn't leave anything except for his dignity on that field at all times.
Depleted, receiver room.
Yep,
for sure.
Yep.
And
still one Hall of Famer. One Hall of Famer's out, and you have another guy who top 15 receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Maybe pushes top 10 with some of his numbers, gone for the year, and you still come out and as a dog.
Does it also say more about what Atlanta is?
Atlanta, I'm starting to put Atlanta in the same category as my Ravens, where each week
they play down
just flip a coin.
Yep.
Just flip a coin at this point, because but once again, it's a division game. And what have we said since the beginning? The division games are always going to be close.
True.
Right? So it's very hard to, when you start taking those division games, it's hard to look at any sort of like big spreads, because a lot of them probably don't hit.
And then we had Arizona at Miami. I think I said if Tua plays, I like Miami.
You did.
They kept it very close.
Yeah.
And I think by kickoff, that line moved to -1 or something. When we did this last week, it was Miami -3. But
+3.
We both
+3 before
they were favored by 3
before Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, I guess the consensus all week
That
was
he
Tua
was
was going to
playing.
play.
Okay.
But closer to kickoff, it moved down.
To -1. I got you.
We both picked Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of let you talk me into that, which I'm glad.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Arizona. I mean, back-to-back weeks now, Arizona's ended it with a game-winning field goal. They're scrapping. They're finding ways to win. They're not finding ways to lose. They're finding ways to win, which can be a scary team when we get closer to playoffs.
Yep.
When you have a team that scrapes it together and finds ways to win instead of finding ways to lose, that's the team that I'm going to bet on.
Mm-hmm. I like how Kyler Murray's playing right now. So
he's playing like the Kyler Murray that they drafted out of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He's playing like that Kyler Murray.
I think he's finally healthy again.
That also helps.
And then we had your Ravens at the Browns. We both picked Baltimore.
The world picked Baltimore. Except for Big Cat.
Jameis ate a W.
Yes, he did.
Almost threw a pick to give the game away. Kyle Hamilton drops it.
That was a tough one.
And throws a almost 40-yard touchdown.
As soon as he dropped it, I looked at Kate and I said, "We're not winning this game." She goes, "What do you mean?" She goes, "He just dropped an interception." I said, "That's why we're not winning the game." I said he could have ended it, and because he didn't end it, and our secondary is the most suspect secondary in the entire NFL, which is why we will not make it to the Super Bowl unless we make an improvement before the trade deadline. We need to make a major improvement, whether it be at safety, and I'm talking if you want to move Humphrey over to safety, because I don't think Humphrey has it anymore at corner. Yes, he had 2 picks, but they were zone picks. They weren't man-to-man picks. I don't think he has it anymore at cornerback. I think he would make an amazing safety transition. Him and Kyle Hamilton back there at safety. And then because Marcus Williams is a blown up, that's $15 million that's being wasted.
Mm-hmm.
We need a huge improvement at corner. So you need to go find a team that's looking to unload someone and make the move. So, and I don't know who's out there. I don't know who's selling right now. Well, obviously there's a couple teams selling, but whether they have anybody that's worth their salt to go out and buy. You need if you want to make a run, you have to, because you're not beating Mahomes with a shitty secondary.
I mean, let's talk about this too. Lamar scrambled, found 2 guys wide open. They both dropped the ball.
Yep. Story of Baltimore, man. Story of Baltimore. He can't throw it and catch it.
No,
he cannot throw it and catch it. He can't. He just can't. So
both of those would have been big time clutch plays.
You got Tucker still struggling.
Yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? And everybody wants to go back to hardball, going for it on 4th and 1 in the beginning of the game, and them stuffing us out instead of taking the points. You take the points, you're in a field goal range at the end of the game to tie or win. Blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine. I just at the end of the day, the players need to do their job. Players need to do their job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, if you're going to let go of a coach, it needs to be Zach Orr. The defensive coordinator needs to go. And I don't know if it was a hardball move to bring Dean Pease in because he was worried that he was going to have to do it, or if Zach Orr asked to bring Dean Pease in to assist him. But something's got to give. You cannot give up 350 yards and 3 touchdown passes to Jameis frickin' Winston and that Cleveland Browns offense. You good?
Yeah.
And that Cleveland Browns offense and think that you're going to be a Super Bowl contender.
I would agree. And, the other thing, not to continue to harp on this game and the Ravens, but Derrick Henry didn't get the ball a whole lot either.
You know how I feel about that.
So
you know how I feel about that. What's the winning recipe for the Ravens?
Got to feed him.
Have to feed him. When the game is on the line, where is he at? You have him on the sidelines. Why?
I'm having way more fun with this conversation than you are.
I know.
But we'll move on from the Ravens.
Yeah, please do, because I'm getting ready too. I got Ravens stuff for sale if anybody wants it.
Ravens were favored by 9 in that game as well. But anyway, Next, we had Colts at Texans. Anthony Richardson pulls himself from the game. 3rd and goal. Because he's tired.
And there's been,
I'm sorry, what?
It's been radio silence from his camp all week.
Yeah, there's no fucking explanation for that.
Nope.
You are a quarterback, a franchise quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Playing for the possible division. Because that could be a game. That could be the deciding game for who wins that division. And
you pull yourself from the game.
Yeah.
I have never seen a quarterback tap themselves out because they're tired.
You got Tua out. You got Tua out here, who's one hit away from being special ed, and you can't pull him off the field, and he taps out because the apparent reason was he was tired.
I don't know how you survive something like that. I mean that's gonna
bring back Joe.
You gotta lose.
You want to make the playoffs? Bring Joe in.
I said that earlier.
Yeah, you did. Yep. You want to win? Let Joe spin.
Yeah.
You know the booby from Friday Night Lights? You want to win? Let Booby spin. You want to win? Let Joe spin. Let Joe go out there and spin that ball.
I think with that move, Anthony Richardson has had to have lost the respect of the locker room. I don't
How does he not?
Yeah. How do you not?
How do you not? Yeah, as a professional at that level.
Also, I think 2 for 15 in the first half.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So,
I thought he was going to get pulled.
He probably should have.
I thought, yeah, bad coaching.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, Houston wins that game.
Yep. We both took Houston, didn't we?
Yep, both had Houston.
Yeah.
And
I had them money line in multiple parlays as well.
There you go. Next, we had Saints at Chargers. We both had the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
They took care of business.
Yep. That run game, man.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's got them on some sort of run game, and nobody. Yeah, it's run and play defense. So, do I think
Harbaugh's doing it well?
One is. Yep. One is. Yeah. By no means do I think the Chargers are a Super Bowl contender, but
yeah, no.
Are they going to ruffle some feathers between now and the end of the year? I absolutely think so. And then give Harbaugh a year or two to draft some more talent, put some more talent around Herbert and everything. What about the dirty play on Herbert?
That offensive lineman did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Bradley Bozeman, former Raven. Another one of the Ravens that jumped ship and went out West Coast.
Yep. Protecting
his QB. Yep. Like he's gotten multiple thousands of dollars donated to him now just because of that play that he made to. And I mean, that had to be one of the dirtiest plays I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, that was very
Ndamukong Suh-esque dirty.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. That was definitely a dirty play.
Yep.
Next, we had the Bills at Seattle.
I went Seattle.
I had Buffalo, and you went Seattle.
And Seattle got
wasn't even close.
I don't know what Buffalo team is going to show up. I don't.
Well, the good one showed up last Sunday.
Yes, they did.
So
yeah. And the very bad Seattle team showed up.
Yeah. I think there was no DK, right? No DK Metcalf.
He was a game time decision. I forgot.
Not sure if he played or not.
It wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah.
That was a complete stomping on all facets of the game by Buffalo. Very well played by Buffalo. They've with the complete crash and burn of the Jets with Miami. I just don't think Miami's got enough time to put it together.
No.
Nor do they have the defense. I think a safe bet right now is you got an extra $100 laying around, throw it on Buffalo, whatever the odds are to go ahead and take that division.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're not going to make a whole lot of money on that $100.
But at this point, unless Allen goes down, it's free money.
Yeah. And then we had Panthers at the Broncos. Broncos are stringing them together right now.
Yeah, they are.
So, playing good defense.
Should be an interesting game this weekend. Yeah.
Should be.
Yep. Yeah, playing very good defense. Let me add to that. Very good, which you said from day one that you knew that they had a very good defense, that this season would all depend upon the growth of Bo Nix. Mm-hmm. And granted, I don't take anything to heart with whatever team is playing Carolina.
And they played the Saints the week before, so it's not.
But once again, Bo Nix is protecting the ball. He's making smart decisions as a rookie. He's leading his team. He's
Yep.
becoming a leader. And, you know,
All you can do is beat who they put in front of you.
Sean Payton only brought through a Hall of Fame quarterback before. So if anybody knows how to do it, it's him because he's done it before.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I like the future of Denver if they can keep that together without everything imploding. And you got to remember they got $60 million against their cap right now because they're paying the quarterback over in Pittsburgh still.
Yeah.
So imagine what that team will be able to do once that clears up.
Very true.
Right.
Very true.
So
next we had Kansas City at the Raiders. We both had Kansas City.
Raiders kept it close though for a while, and then Kansas City just did what Kansas City does, and they flexed, and the Raiders got scared.
Yeah,
that's all.
Kansas City's now what 7-0.
7-0.
So
yep,
they're tough to beat.
It's Kansas City. What about the D Hop? D Hop made a couple plays.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was. Sorry, just always the PTSD.
Yeah.
He made some plays. He, got a couple first downs for him. He's going to be that extra set of hands. But a breakout game on tight end on the National Tight End Day.
Yeah.
Breakout game finally by Travis Kelce. I think he had almost more yards this game than he has any combined 3 games up until this point this year.
I wish I would have done that parlay.
The tight end. Yeah, I saw it too late too.
Yep. I saw one guy in our fantasy football league did a $25 bet and won $1,500.
Nice
on that.
Nice.
So good for him.
Yep. Absolutely.
But next we had Bears at Commanders, which
what a game.
What a finish.
Yes, let me say that. What a finish. Because before that it was a
rock fight.
It was up until that point. Yep. And then 2 bombs.
Yep. So you had the Bears, I had the Commanders,
and it was I really the game showed it was
close.
Who wanted it more? There was no dominating team. Well, if you want to say Commanders dominated, I wouldn't argue as much. They dominated defensively, but they could not get the ball moving like they had. You're talking about the number 2 scoring offense in the league. Couldn't get the ball moving like they usually do against everyone else.
Jayden Daniels, I think, is not 100%.
Oh no, you could tell he was struggling. But what a gamer!
Yeah,
you don't see him tapping out, dude. I guarantee he's got to have a broken rib,
something like that.
I cracked, hanging, something.
The first drive, he took a couple hits and got back up, and
yep, you saw him taking his time and everything. Yep, and I do believe that the game strategy was to keep the pressure off of him, which is why I think that you guys did run the ball more. Eckler got more touches. B Rob's going to get his touches regardless. He's becoming a top 5 running back in the league. So, which does it help that you have a quarterback that can throw the ball? Yes, but still, he's doing his extra part, breaking tackles and getting yards after the first touch.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no, we said it a couple weeks ago that the Commanders are a playoff team already. So, are they
scary for me to say that out loud?
Are they a Super Bowl team?
No.
I can't quite put them there yet because we got to see how Jayden Daniels finishes the season. We all hope that he can because I enjoy watching him. Mm-hmm. Same reason like people who don't root for the Ravens enjoy watching Lamar. It's fun to watch. If you're just a football fan in general, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch Jayden Daniels play. It's fun to watch the Commanders play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's my opinion is that they are 100% a playoff team, but with with the dumpster fire that the NFC East is, they could win a division.
I think so.
So I think that they're going to have to compete with Philly down to the end, but they have a legit shot for sure, and they have a legit shot at pulling a wild card spot as well.
I agree.
Yep.
We just got to keep Jayden Daniels healthy.
Yeah,
nothing else really matters.
Keep that man upright unless he's sliding.
And then we had Cowboys at 49ers. You went Cowboys, I went 49ers.
That's the last time I'll take them, I promise.
The Cowboys.
I promise that's the last time I give them a shot in hell.
I can't believe Mike McCarthy hasn't been fired yet.
I don't know what Jerry Jones is waiting for. I do not know. I do. Did you see what Micah Parsons said?
No.
He goes, "We're tired, man. We're tired.
Tired of what?
I'm tired of losing. It's got to be. It's
Doesn't
got to
look
be.
like it.
You got all that money on the offensive side of the ball, and you can't score.
Love it.
You can't score. Oh yeah, no, you absolutely. Everyone loves
There
to
are
see
certain
Dallas lose.
franchises,
And
you
they're-
look around,
They're one of
the
them.
Cowboys, the Yankees, the
Dodgers.
Lakers.
I'll say the Dodgers.
You know,
Yeah,
you look at those and you're like, I
when they
I
lose
just love to see when they lose.
because their fan bases are horrible.
You know,
Their fan bases are probably the number one factor for
Yeah.
most of them. They're just obnoxious.
so with that being said, I took 3 back on you this week.
Yeah, which puts you +2 overall now.
+2 overall. We
I-
also had the Monday night game.
We both had Pittsburgh. in that
Giants
one.
at Pittsburgh. We both had Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Giants
What a
kept
tough-
it interesting.
And you said it best. What do you pick to bet on in this game besides Pittsburgh money line? Like, I'll be honest, like, and I kicked myself in my own ass this morning when I woke up and I looked at the highlights and I saw that there was a punt return for a touchdown. I wanted to pick a special teams touchdown for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because that's how good their defense has been and their special teams has been. But I'm like, you're thinking real long shot. So I went with some safe bets. I went Pittsburgh money line on 2 different parlays. I went anytime touchdown for Najee Harris, thinking he's been getting the ball a lot. And then the other bet, I had him 40-plus yards, just minimum. So that was like -350. He got that in the first quarter, never sniffed the end zone. So yeah, both of mine went down. Unfortunately, I should have just bet the whole kit and caboodle on Pittsburgh money line. So
Yeah.
and we were flirting with the unders, but they were so low. You were like, I don't even want to get near them.
I told you last night too. I'm like, a lot of people love the under. I don't.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah. Well, that is week 8.
Once again, we still don't know who's going to win each game. I'm just throwing that out there because I don't think the teams know who's going to win each game, to be real honest, because the teams that you think should be going out and dominating are not.
Tell you one team that did dominate on Saturday, Notre Dame.
Yeah, they did. I forgot to look to see how the other 14 legs of that parlay that I made did. Because if the other 14 hit, I'm going to be very disappointed in taking your advice on taking them +13.
Well, I'll tell you this. Navy, like, they got snake bit by penalties.
And
in the first
turnovers.
quarter. And
They couldn't hold on to the ball. They couldn't make a pitch. They couldn't make a handoff. I watched the
They
whole
were
first
driving
half.
on all 3 of those.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I'm telling you, the game's different if.
I saw your post and it said, "Let's go Navy." So I hurried up and kicked the game on because I was laying on the couch with Doc, and I hurried up and put the game on, and I'm like, "Damn it!" Like you had just posted it, like I don't know, 8 minutes before I turned the game on, and it showed 0-0 on your TV, and I turn it on, it's 14-0. I'm like, "Are we watching the same game? Is this a replay of an older?" I'm like, "Good Lord!"
Yeah.
And then they started to try to come back. Right? They go down and score. It's 14-7. And then all of a sudden it's 31-14 at half. I'm like, yeah, this one's over.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they came out and they scored beginning of the second half. And then did they score again after that?
I don't know. I didn't watch.
Yeah. He gave up before I did.
We also had Bama took care of business against Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the one I liked the most. Them covering 14 there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they won 34-0.
Yep.
Vandy kept it close against Texas.
A lot closer than me and you thought.
Yeah.
A lot closer than me and you thought.
I know we said we liked Texas -18.5, but Vandy kept it close.
Mm-hmm.
And that team, they got something there.
Yeah. Well, the one cool stat that I saw was Army was ranked 23, Navy was ranked 24, Vanderbilt was ranked 25 because they're all 3 like the military grades and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was pretty. They said it's like the first time in history, college football history, that those 3 teams were all ranked at the same time.
I'm going back to check. Let's see. The Maryland completely crap the bed.
Called that. It was against Minnesota, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I called that.
Ohio State almost got beat by Nebraska.
Did see that, and you were heavy on Nebraska.
So
You were heavy on Nebraska this weekend. Yep. You said don't look past them.
Let's see, what else did we have? Yeah, Texas only won by a field goal. And then there was one more. Oh yeah, Michigan did cover. As I said, I liked Michigan State against Michigan, but Michigan did end up covering.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that is all I have to say about that. So,
Moving
with
on.
that being said, on to Week 9. So, with Week 9, we'll start with the college preview real quick. The biggest ones we got is Ohio State at Penn State, number 3 and number 4 ranked currently.
Who's home?
It is at Penn State.
Give me Penn.
So it'll likely be a whiteout. I like that as well. I'm going Penn State.
Give me Penn money line.
And I think with what Nebraska showed,
it's probably close
defensively against Ohio State, holding them to 21 points, that bodes well for Penn State. Penn State's defense.
Yep, go out and watch film.
So I like that one a lot. I like Navy to bounce back this week, but they play Rice, so they're going to win that game.
Yeah, they better.
And then we have Oregon at Michigan this weekend.
Oregon.
So I think Oregon runs away with that,
yeah.
But I think Oregon's favored by 14.5.
Yeah.
And then other than that, there's not a whole lot to really make note of. Georgia and Florida play this weekend.
Should be a blowout for Georgia.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the NFL slate.
I like it.
So Thursday night, we have the Texans at the Jets. I think we got to go Texans, right?
An easy one.
Yeah.
An easy one. Tank Dell got in the end zone last weekend, by the way.
There you go.
Don't know if you saw that, but quick little anytime touchdown, Joe Mixon.
I had that.
Joe Mixon. Yeah, but I mean for this weekend, for this Thursday, Joe Mixon anytime touchdown. Go for it.
I would agree.
So, what Houston's got to be? What 6.5 favorite?
No, the Jets were favored by 2.
No, they're not.
I swear to God.
Is it at New York?
All right, we should put that bet in right now.
Yeah, everyone take the points with Houston. What the hell? Is Vegas thinking that Rodgers is going to make the ultimate comeback again?
Let's see. Yeah, Texans are +2.
It's got to be at New York then, right?
Yeah.
Is CJ Stroud questionable?
Not that I'm aware of. Even if he is, I'm taking that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and I just put $5 on it.
Yep. I would and put $5 on that, and then put another $5 on Houston +2, and then Joe Mixon anytime touchdown. That'll be my 2 bets for this Thursday night.
Yeah. So that might be what I like the most on this slate is Houston +2.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so it's a tough slate this week. I didn't look at the schedule.
So
yeah, you're catching me fresh blindside here.
All right. And then we got Dallas at Atlanta on Sunday.
Give me Atlanta. I don't even care who Dallas is playing. Give me Atlanta. Yeah. give me whoever they're playing against.
I'm gonna go Atlanta as well.
Yep. Give me Atlanta.
Cowboys. They probably will come back and win.
I do like. Yeah, I know, right? I do like the fact that Kyle Pitts is finding the end zone more. So I think that Kyle Pitts could be
he got bailed out this weekend.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, showboating. Yeah,
he got bailed out.
Yep. Thank the Lord for instant replay. That's for sure. So.
No, they called it a touchdown on the field.
Well, I meant
right?
so,
but
you got to remember they're teaching refs to do that now.
Yeah.
So that way the replay can happen.
It looked
because if he doesn't call it, then Atlanta has to challenge it.
Mm-hmm.
So the refs, anything, I guarantee anything close, they're just call it a touchdown so it can be reviewed.
Yeah. So then we had Miami at Buffalo, or then we have Miami at Buffalo. Buffalo's favored by 6.5. Give me Buffalo as well.
Buffalo. But Miami might keep it closer than you think.
Yeah, I don't like 6.5
no.
there.
No, if you want to tease it down to a 3.5 or even just a half, sure.
Yeah. Then we have the Raiders at the Bengals.
Bengals.
Bengals are favored by 7.5 here.
I don't think they cover 7.5, but I think the Bengals win.
I do too.
Yep.
Next we have the Chargers at the Browns. I'm gonna. Oh fuck! Jameis is so much fun to watch.
I'll make it easy for you. Give me Cleveland.
I'm gonna go Chargers. I don't think they beat Harbaugh's 2 weeks in a row. Then we have New England at Tennessee.
Oh, good Lord.
There are two contenders for dumpster fire game of the week, and this is
one up. Hey, how about the unders in this one?
Yeah,
Probably a strong bet there.
um,
I'm gonna wait for you to pick first on this one.
I'm gonna go Tennessee.
New England.
All right. Next, we have the Commanders at the Giants.
Anders.
I
So long as Jayden Daniels plays.
would like to say this.
Oh boy.
I am a Commanders fan,
He's still so skeptical.
but
He's living in a virtual reality. He doesn't
did
know
you
what
see
to
the way
do.
the Giants defensive line got after Russell Wilson last night?
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think that bodes well for Jayden Daniels.
That's fair. That's fair. And
And
normally you do say the Giants dominate you guys.
and there's something about Daniel Jones playing the Commanders that I'm not going to pick against him, but I'm just saying.
Ah, I thought he was.
I can't go against him.
Oh, I thought he was. Lord. Well, last
and you
time
already picked him, so if you get it wrong, so do I.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that wasn't my intention. I do because I picked against Washington earlier this year when they played the Giants. They beat the shit out of the Giants.
Yeah.
So I think that.
Well, no, they didn't. They kicked like 7 field goals, and
Wasn't that the first game of the year or like the second game?
Might have been second.
Game of the year. Yeah. But once again, Jayden Daniels he's jumped up multiple levels since that game.
I think it's going to be interesting to see. The Giants have already played them once. See what they do differently a second time against.
Once again, B-Rob anytime touchdown.
So
you're going to see a lot of screens. Eckler, maybe even the over on his receiving, whatever that number is. You can see a lot of screens to slow down that pass rush.
I agree.
And to keep the pressure off of Jayden.
Yeah,
I see a lot of screens and a lot of zone runs and stuff this week for Washington. So rushing yards over anytime for B-Rob, anytime touchdown for B-Rob, and then receiving yards for Eckler out of the backfield over as well.
And then now we have our next contender for dumpster fire game of the week. New Orleans at Carolina.
Oh, Jesus.
Right? That's exactly how I feel about this game. I feel like New Orleans has quit.
Yeah. Yeah. Except for Chris Olave, who apparently comes out and catches 100 yards after I benched him because the third string quarterback was in. But
it wasn't Rattler?
No. They brought in the next guy. Yep. Give me.
Wait, why is Taysom Hill not playing quarterback now? But anyway.
God, dude, I couldn't tell. I don't think that team knows what they're doing, to be honest with you. So
I don't know which one. They're both terrible.
I think I'm going with New Orleans. Because they still got Kamara, they still got Olave, they still got a half decent defense. I'm going New Orleans. They just once again, what did you say at the beginning of the podcast? roster talent's going to win most times, more than not. So I'm going roster talent on this one and just going with the Saints.
I'm gonna go Carolina.
Oh, I like it.
Can I tell you also, Carolina's favored by 7.
Still doesn't sway me.
All right.
Nope. Bryce Young's back in, isn't he? He was back in the game last week. Yeah.
Next, we have the Broncos at the Ravens. I'm going to go Ravens.
Yeah.
I will say I don't love them covering 9.5.
They're 9.5-point favorites? Oh. See, this is what ticks me off, though. This could be the bounce back game where we come out and put 40 points up again.
Denver's defense is good.
Because it's a home game. No, I know.
But,
I mean, I'm 100% taking the Ravens money line, but
yeah,
I don't. Yeah, that 9.5 would be very, very scary. And then especially if you tease it the other way, make it 15.5, you can give me Denver all day.
yeah. And then we got Jacksonville at Philly. Philly's favored by 7.5.
This could be a tricky game.
All right.
I feel like with the way Jacksonville's been playing, this could be a tricky game. I'm going to go Philly just because they got the momentum, but I would squash that 7.5 in a minute.
I got Philly as well.
Yeah.
Next, we got the Bears at the Cardinals. I got the Cardinals. You think the Bears come out after?
But I just talked about how the Cardinals are a team that find a way to win, and Cardinals are at home.
Yep.
Much as I want to go Bears, and I'm going to have it on recording as much as I want to go Bears, I'm going Arizona because I can't go against what I said, where I'm not going to bet against a team that just finds ways to win.
That's a lot of travel, too, going to the East Coast and then going out,
And what did the Bears do this past weekend? They found a way to lose. So
fair.
They let ego beat them.
Next, we have Detroit at Green Bay.
That'll be a good matchup.
Detroit's favored by 3.5.
That could be a heavy overs matchup as well.
I agree.
I'm taking Detroit, but yeah,
I am too.
That could be a very heavy overs game. Is it at Green Bay? You said.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's still October. It'll be November, I guess, but first week in November, so it's not cold just yet in Green Bay. But if they have a game late December, early January, it could sway me to push towards Green Bay for weather reasons. Because Detroit plays in a dome, so they're not, acclimated as much. But yeah, I think Detroit takes this one. Detroit's got some momentum going. So
I agree.
They're a hot team not to pick.
Then we have the Rams at Seattle. I got the Rams.
I'll take Rams going back to back. Yeah.
Especially after what the Seahawks showed last week.
I think that may have demoralized them.
Yeah.
A lot. Big time. I'll go Rams with you.
Then we got Indy at the Vikings. I'm going Vikings.
Yeah, give me. Ooh.
Vikings -6. But I think you probably get Flacco starting this week.
If Flacco starts, I love Indy. I'm going to take Minnesota because we don't know who's starting. But come Sunday, if they tell me that Flacco's the starter,
you want me to change it Sunday if you...
No.
So you're just playing both sides now?
No, I'm talking for betting. I'm talking for betting on Sunday. Yeah. No. Our picks are our picks. We can't change the middle of the week once we write them down. But if Flacco starts, I love taking Indy with the points because I think he brings an extra, especially after what just happened. That team is scrambling to find a leader, and I think he's ready.
Yeah,
I think he was. I think they made a mistake taking him out when Richardson was healthy. I thought that was a big mistake, and then it was an even bigger mistake when he could not get the offense down the field, and you still left him in. Granted, you won barely. That for Anthony Richardson's first, I think it was against Tennessee. His first game back. Barely won. No, it was against Miami. I'm sorry, against Miami. They won what, 15-12. Right, against Miami, who had no offense, right? Like, Yeah, no. If Flacco starts, give me Indy in the points this Sunday at 12:55. But going with what we know, give me Minnesota bounce back game. Could be a blowout.
I don't think it matters either way. I think Indy covers 6. Or Minnesota covers 6,
Even if Flacco plays?
even if Flacco plays.
Yes, I can't agree with you on that one.
I think Minnesota's coming off 2 hard losses. They're
Is
going to
it at
come out.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
They're not too far apart, and they both play in domes.
So,
Yeah. No.
then Monday night we have the Bucks at the Chiefs. I'm going to go ahead and go Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City will be 8-0.
Yep.
However, if there was a quarterback this year who could upset them, of anybody, it would be Baker. But he just doesn't have the weapons, unfortunately.
The one thing though, Tampa Bay after this game has their bye week. They're going to be geared up, looking forward to that bye week,
And
knowing that they're going
Evans
into this
back.
game saying, we've got a week to recover. We're going balls to the walls.
Yeah.
You know,
That could be another. I'm not. There's no way
I'm
I
not
pick
going
a
to bet
winner.
it, but
I don't pick a winner in that game just because I'm afraid of Baker. But I mean, their running backs anytime touchdown scorer. You know, the K. Otten, the tight end, anytime touchdown scorer. There, he's the number one target now for Baker. And they're going to throw it. They're not going to let Baker just hand it off 40 plus times.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to sling it. But
so that is NFL Week 9.
Okay.
That's our slate there.
Yep.
I know we had talked last week about wanting to make some NBA picks. Did
For
we still
futures,
want to do
we'll
that?
do some futures. Yep. Let's just
Okay.
do a Eastern and Western, who we think for the finals, and then go from there.
Okay.
So, you want me to go first? You can look up something, or did you have something prepared?
I need to check it out real quick.
Okay.
I think I like obviously this isn't a big stretch, but I like the Celtics.
Yeah. Yeah. I got
in the finals.
I got Boston going back as well.
And then I don't know who I like coming out of the Western Conference. I think a lot of different things about that. The Western Conference is wide
deep.
open.
It's deep. And I tell you who's not looking too hot is Denver.
They're 1-2.
Yeah.
To start the year.
Struggling from the 3-point. When your center's your best 3-point shooter, yeah, you need to get that man some help.
So I like Boston in the finals to play. Let's go out on a limb here. Let's get the Phoenix Suns in the finals.
I like it. I like it.
So
I like that. I like
different.
that. It is different. It is different. I am going LeBron's farewell tour.
Think he's done after this year?
Yep. He got to play with Bronny, and I think that they make the finals. I don't think that they can beat Boston, but I think LeBron hangs it up after this year.
I don't.
You think he comes back for another one? Yeah. I feel what if they win? You still think he comes back?
Or who, the Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's
still got too much left in the tank.
He's still going to be involved in basketball. I just don't think there's anything that he personally wants to accomplish anymore. Like he flat out said that his final goal in basketball was to play with his son. And
He's got another one coming.
He's got to do that. He could no. If there's anyone in the history of basketball, he could do it because of how well he treats his body and takes care of himself. It spends $1 million a year on his body just to be in the best shape possible. You know what I mean? And if anybody could hold on long enough to be able to do it, he could. I just think this is the final year for him. You know what I mean? He's going to chalk it up. He's going to do a Tom Brady and just be part owner somewhere of a team, probably Cleveland.
He is a billionaire.
So, oh yeah. Yeah. He'll be I would be surprised if he doesn't try to buy a piece of Cleveland. But what he's done with LA and everything, there's a good chance that the Buss family could offer him a piece there of the Lakers as well. He'll just have to decide what he wants to do. But yeah, my early season Boston Lakers, and I think Boston repeats. I think they go back to back. So now with the NBA, you never know with them. There could be a flurry of trades, and I mean, LeBron could even not even be a Laker after the trade deadline. You just don't know in the NBA. That's that. I guess that's the fun part you want to call about the NBA. But yeah, if I think this is LeBron's farewell tour. I don't think he announces it as a farewell tour, but I think that this will be his probably last year. He accomplished his big thing last year by passing Kareem as the all-time scorer. So he's got championships. He's already lost the opportunity to ever be compared to Michael when it comes to the finals and stuff like that because he lost so many. So I don't think him getting the 6 matters
I don't think he cares
as much. Neither do I. But it's no argument that he's the second greatest basketball player of all time.
He's up there.
Yep. So yeah, that's my. So who's okay? So pick one dark horse, whether it's Eastern or Western. Who's your one dark horse?
The Thunder. I don't even know
I love that.
I don't even know if that's a dark horse.
Yeah, no, you can't consider them a dark horse. No, they are too good. They are too deep to be considered a dark horse, and they're going to be good for a very long time because the head management is amazing and has them number 1 picks through like 2035.
Who's your dark horse?
I'm going to say coming out of the East actually, and it's going to be Milwaukee. The Bucks. I say that they possibly make a play come the trade deadline and go get a Jimmy Butler or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So that's him, Giannis and Dame. I think that they finally figure it out this year. The experiment didn't go well last year because of a lot of injuries, but I think if anyone's got a shot to beat Boston, it's between them and New York. New York's not looking too hot, but
I don't love Karl Anthony Towns.
I think they made a huge mistake getting rid of Julius Randle.
I do too.
Mm-hmm. I think that made Minnesota the much better team in that trade.
Yeah. I'll also give you one more dark horse that I like.
Okay.
The Orlando Magic.
Ooh, Paolo dropped 50 last night. First time in his career, and everybody watches the NBA said this guy's turning the page now. Now he's taking the next level to be the superstar that he was drafted to be.
Yep.
So yeah, they got a deep team too. Young, deep team. Yep, absolutely. Now two teams for the future. Not this year. I don't think it'll happen at all. But 2 teams for the future, maybe a year or 2 down the line, Houston and San Antonio, both Texas teams. Both teams deep with talent. Both have superstars, all that kind of stuff.
With Wembanyama.
Yep. As long as he doesn't get hurt, he'll be something special in this league for a while. But you see guys like him, and they start developing a knee problem. They start developing an ankle, this, that, and it's like Kawhi Leonard. Just retire.
I'll give you a Western Conference dark horse as well.
Okay.
New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Zion is back healthy.
Yep. And in shape.
Yep.
He's no longer a king-size candy bar. He's back to the regular size.
I think
he's ridiculous. He's a ridiculous athlete. He's absolutely. What do you think? Did you see the interview? I should have brought this up last week, but it was like 2 weeks ago. Anthony Edwards with the Timberwolves said that if he wins a championship in the next couple of years, he wants to transition to the NFL. And I forget who was there. It was one of Ryan Clark, I think, the old safety from the Steelers, who was the most brutal hitter in the NFL for a couple of years.
It was Justin Jefferson.
That's right. It was Jettas. Yes, it was Jefferson. He goes, I'm telling you, you get hit once, you ain't going to want to play no more. He goes, that's the difference between us and you all. He goes, y'all are athletes. No one's denying that. He goes, but we're all athletes too. The difference is we're athletes that can take hits. you guys aren't built that way.
And then he said he doesn't lift. If he lifted like them,
he said he'd be like Derrick Henry. Yes, he said he would be the next Derrick Henry if he got into the same lifting regimen. And I'm like, I'm taking Derrick Henry 100 out of 100 times, meeting in a hole, you versus him. I'm sorry. And he's Derrick Henry's 10 years older than him.
I mean, there was a thing with Anthony Edwards coming out of high school where he was he was a multi-sport athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball was not his only option.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it was football or if it was baseball, but there was something else there
about him
where he could have been a top prospect in that sport as well, but he chose basketball.
Well, me and you both played at the next level in college, and we took some hits. Can you imagine the next level after that? And we played D3.
Yeah.
We weren't playing with 11 animals on the other side of the field. We were on the same playing field in D3.
I would say if you put him out at receiver or something,
and he definitely ain't playing defense.
You give him a year or so to lift and get his body right.
Sure.
I'm not saying he would be a stud, but
he could compete. But once again, it's all about till you get that. What do they call it? The welcome to the league hit.
Yeah. Right now, he could not walk in there and go do that.
No, 100% no. No, he would need like you said, a year or two to be acclimated with the speed of the game, the toughness of the game, and all that kind of stuff. And
get his body to the point where he could do that. I think mindset-wise, he's tough enough.
Yeah,
but
I don't take that away from him.
Yeah,
I think Justin Jefferson was right where it's like you think you got a lot of NBA players think that they could just walk onto a football field and dominate, and it's like you're not. I can promise that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a lot of NFL players, like there's wide receivers who think they can go on an NBA court and put up 20 points. Like you're not.
Yeah,
like those guys are ridiculously good.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about MVP picks? Who do you like
for the NBA?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with that guy, Anthony Edwards.
Give me Tatum.
Okay.
Give me Jason Tatum. I think that he's been overlooked a lot his entire career, and I think
not Jaylen Brown,
Steve Kerr. I know, right? I think the whole Steve Kerr keeping him benched the entire time during the USA run really set something off in him. I think he's going to finish plus 30 points a game, plus 7-8 rebounds. He's going to have a LeBron James MVP year. Couple steals, blocks, just averages. The stat line is just going to be through the roof the whole year as long as he stays healthy. So, and I think Boston finishes with probably the best record in the league, which automatically you're going to get a nod towards MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's not a bad pick though, Anthony Edwards for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Do you have New York coming back in the World Series? You think Dodgers got it wrapped up? They're done.
It's 3-0, right?
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, a lot of people are trying to call the 0-4 comeback of Boston, the Red Sox 0-4 comeback.
20 years, but
I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
As much as I wanted the Yankees to beat the Dodgers, because even though I hate both teams, I wanted to see an American League team win it. But yeah, the Dodgers outspent the Yankees this year, and they get a World Series. So.
Yep.
I'm excited for the off season for MLB though. I'm excited to see what the Orioles do with new ownership and all that kind of stuff.
I think they'll be spenders.
I hope so. I hope we put some money on guys that do it now before they get out of our price range. Like we get too many guys that need money. You know what I mean? Like just go ahead and seal up Adley. That's my personal opinion. Because no matter what, he had a down year, but even his down year, he was still a top 5 catcher. In a down offensive year, he's still top 2 defensively, no matter which way you look at it. And he's 26 years old.
Yeah.
Sign him. Give him 5 years. Give him, I don't know, give him $100 million.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just do it. Just stop bullshitting around. Just do it before the Yankees or the Dodgers or one of those teams come along and say, "Oh, they're offering you 100. Here's 150 for 4 years." Okay, see ya.
Yeah. Is McCann under contract next year?
I don't think so, but they're talking he needs to be brought back as well, and I agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he needs to help Adley transition into the leader of the clubhouse. So because I think that he's got the seniority in there that the Orioles need. So not so
It
much
also
not so
keeps
much an
Adley from
old
catching every
head.
day.
That's who. That oh yeah, absolutely. Not so much an old head, but someone a veteran of the league. So I wouldn't call McCann an old head by any means, but a veteran of the league who's been around, been to many different clubhouses and everything. Like let him go out there and teach Adley how to be the veteran in the clubhouse. So
Yeah.
that way he can be that guy 2-3 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I think you bring McCann back. The biggest re-sign's got to be Corbin Burns.
Oh yeah.
So unless you have a spot ace that you know you're going to sign in his place, he's got to return.
I agree.
You got to bring him back.
Yep.
So,
Um.
but
Anything else?
dad moment.
Dad moment. Uh. Well, we're gonna be trick or treating this week.
Yeah,
And we carved some pumpkins over the weekend.
there you go. We just did
So
that last night. Very nice.
there you go.
What are the kids being? What are they each being this
Colt's
year?
gonna be a Ninja Turtle.
Nice.
And the girls are both being Taylor Swift.
Love that.
So
Nice. I'm saying that's popular this year.
yeah.
I like that. That's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Doc, yeah, same thing with this is our first Halloween. So we're heading down to my parents' neighborhood, bringing the wagon and everything, and we are dressing up as the Incredibles.
oh, you're
So
dressing up too?
I have a Mr. Incredible costume, yep, and the wife got a Mrs. Incredible, Elastigirl, and then we got Doc's gonna be Jack Jack. So because he's got the blonde hair, so we're gonna spike it,
Nice.
and we got him a little Jack Jack outfit. So
Nice.
yep.
Yeah, I enjoy Halloween.
It'll be
It's
fun. Kate bought him a different outfit for every day this week, so it's